first, I'd like to read this verse out of Hebrews. It's Hebrews 11:1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for and evidence of things not seen. And truly, Patty and I believe that God is with us and takes care of us every day. In October 29th, yeah, I was actually a couple of weeks before that, my clutch went out on my newer truck. So I was driving my older truck. And I have a lot of money in that truck. And it's got pretty much a brand new engine in it. And I'm hauling to Hayes and Hoxie every day for 2 weeks. And we get done with those jobs, and I was going to take a load down to Plains that I've been doing for 5 years or 6, something like that. And I was really kind of upbeat on account of that. So I'm going that way, and it's really cold out, really cold. And October the 29th, and I get about a mile from the Copeland Road, and the truck starts knocking and smoking and shaking and just terrible. What I done was I popped the nozzle off one of the injectors, and I just sat there and I'm driving. I don't want to stop in the middle of the highway, so I'm trying to find a place to pull over. Anyway, I go down by the railroad tracks in Copeland, and I go through a lot of this kind of stuff, but I'm trying everything that I know, and I don't know anything, to fix this thing, you know. So I called the mechanics at Buckner's, and one of the mechanics answered the phone, and he's telling me, you know, there's popped the nozzle off the injector, and it's going to wash out my cylinder walls and ruin the engine. And I need to shut off as quick as I can, but I can't shut it off because I'm loaded, and I got a belly dump on. I got to unload this belly dump before I can unhook from this belly dump. I don't see anybody around, and I drive back up the road to the shop, nobody there, and I try to call a friend of mine, Mike Nightingale, that lives in that area, and he don't answer. And I go back to that deal, and I just don't want to dump this load on somebody's road or lot or something and make you mad, you know. But I'm sitting there, and I don't know what to do. Patty's at the hairdresser's. She only gets 1 day off a week on Wednesdays. And
and Henry likes to mess that day up.
Yeah. I'm banned from calling her while she's at getting her hair fixed or her fingernails done at my daughter's. And so I'm sitting there, and I know she's in there. So I just text her and tell her, you got to come pick me up, right? But I'm sitting there, and I just truly want to just sit there and cry. Because I don't know what to do. I can't shut this thing off, and as it's running, it's just ruining that engine. And Mike Nightingale calls me. Misses that while I'm feeling really bad, and you know, I'm talking to God, and all of a sudden, he calls me, and you know, and I asked him if he knows anybody in Copeland because he's in Missouri on his way here, and he goes, "Yeah, I know a guy." He said, "Let me call him." So he calls him, and it's the guy that owns the lot where I'm sitting at by the railroad tracks. He calls me back and said, "Yeah," he said, "you can dump that load right there, and he'll pay you for it." And I said, "No, I don't want him to pay me for it. You know, it's just a wonderful gift that he would let me dump it there and leave my belly dump there." And so I get his number, and I call him, and I thank him, and you know, all the stuff that you do. Very nice man. And so I dumped that load and I unhooked the truck and I called the tow truck driver from Shivelbein Tow Truck. Now, I don't know if you've ever had anything towed. It's like unbelievably expensive. And I called him and he said, yeah, he said, I can come down there today and pick that up and haul it to Buckner's. And I said, yeah, I just plan on come getting it. And then Patty calls me, right? Said, you got to come get me. And I tell her what's going on. And she's, you know, we're praying about it. The whole time I'm praying about this. And she is when she's come and picked me up. Well, she comes and picks me up. And we head back to Garden and we stopped and got something to eat. And this guy in the tow truck just dropped everything he was doing because he owns a shop and he works on vehicles. Drove down there and got the truck and almost beat us back to Garden City with the truck. But there was so many things in that, when you look back on that, I mean, it could have been Hayes or Hoxie out in the middle of nowhere at night or, you know, through this, but it wasn't. It was in a place that I know, man, if there's a new rock on the road over there, I know it, you know. And it was in a place that was familiar. There's a couple of ladies in that town, old ladies, that I pray for all the time. I've never met them. I don't know them. I don't know their names, but I know one has a home health care person that comes once a week, and another lady rides a bike up the road, totally covered up. But I pray for those people. But it happened there. I met a wonderful, godly man from Montezuma that owned that lot. The tow truck guy hauls this truck to Garden City for $425, which is pennies compared to what it should be. And they fixed our truck. But I know that the Lord takes care of me and takes care of Patty through these things. But you know, there's always that point where you're sitting there and you just want to cry and you don't know what to do. You just don't know what to do. You're there and there's nothing I'm capable of doing it. And then the Lord just kind of just takes over that and gets it all done.